Good morning, my dear students. This is Dr. Sakshi Jain, Assistant Professor in English of SD Mahila Mahavidyalaya Hasi, welcomes you all in today's class. Today we will continue Aristotle the Poetics. We have already done part 1st and 2nd from chapters 1st to 19th. Today we will complete it part 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th and chapters 22-26. Let's continue. Part 3rd includes chapters 20, 21 and 22nd. In these chapters, Aristotle has told us about diction or style. Diction. It is the choice and arrangement of words and images in literary composition. Diction describes the way characters deliver their speeches. Words used by the writers can be divided in 6 categories. Number 1. Those words current in ordinary speech. Foreign terms imported from other languages such as envy. Envy is the French word for boredom. Now in English, though, it is defined as a feeling of weariness and dissatisfaction. Metaphysical words like cold-blooded. Ornamental words like grandiloquent, you can say pompous. New coinage like sea changes, etc. by lengthening or shortening previously used words such as pram. Pram is a British term. It is more likely to be called a stroller in the US. Most of the parents, babysitters and nannies will know what you mean if you use the word. Pram is short for perambulator, one who walks, which gained the meaning baby carriage in 1850s. Next, Aristotle told us about style. The style should fulfill 2 conditions. It should be clear. It should not be mean. The artist should neither use only current words nor only high-sounding words. Aristotle stresses balance. Style must use elements of metaphor and the occasional unusual word, or it will never achieve the effects the poet desires. Too much metaphorical or unfamiliar language, however, will only serve to confuse the audience. That's why style should be clear and should not be mean. In part 4th and 5th, we will read chapters 23rd, 24th and 26th. In part 6th, we will read chapter 25th. This is the learning point, dear students. We will read chapter number 25th in part 6th. In all these 3 chapters, Aristotle enumerates the differences and resemblances between the epic and the tragedy. See the point 1, unity of the story. Both have unity, but less unity is required in an epic. Characters. In both epic and tragedy, the characters are grand or high, but in epic, characters attain even superhuman status. See the third point. The epic is not as restricted in terms of magnitude as the tragedy. Epics enjoy the capacity to include many more episodes than a tragedy could accommodate. Epic deals with only grand events, tragedy may include commonplace things. Epic can also be complex like tragedy. The epic uses only one meter, that is heroic. The tragedy may uses a variety of meters. In part 6, chapter 25th, Aristotle's answer to the critic's charges. In this chapter, Aristotle replies to the critic's charges. He reflects on the way in which each of the 5 criticisms might be refuted, stressing that critics must always bear in mind the self-consistency and purpose of the work as a whole. See number 1, charge of impossibility. Aristotle argues that poets should not in general depict impossible events, but that if the possible event serves the artistic purpose, there is no fault in it. What Aristotle wants to say? A poet should not depict impossible event. But if that impossible event serves the artistic purpose, then there is no fault in choosing the impossible event. Charge of irrationality. Irrational behavior in a character can be justified in the same way as the impossible event. If it is necessary to the plot to have a character behave irrationally, such a presentation is justified. So, there is also no fault in it. Charge of immorality. According to Aristotle, depiction of immorality should be avoided. But it is necessary. The immoral characters must be punished in the story for their actions. Charge of contradiction. When we meet with the apparent contradictions in a work of art, we must apply careful methods of analysis to determine whether the word or the phrase that seems to contradict an earlier expression in fact has the meaning we are assigning it. And the last, failure to confirm the artistic rules. Before we conclude that a passage is poorly written, or you can say a speech is unconvincing, we must examine the context of the passage in question to determine if this apparent fault serves some particular purpose in the work. Sometimes a clumsy, unconvincing speech may perfectly suit the character who delivers it. In this way, Aristotle replies to the critics' charges. I hope you all are able to understand all the 6 parts of the Poetics written by Aristotle. Keep learning, keep growing, keep revising. Till the time we meet next in the next video. Thank you.